The shock drop. Usually, Swiss watch brands follow a script. They announce a new watch at a big trade show in Geneva. They serve champagne. They make polite speeches. Tudor decided to burn the script. They released the Black Bay Chrono Pink on a random day with almost zero warning. There was no big party. It was a digital ambush. This strategy terrified the competition. Omega spends millions on marketing campaigns for the Speedmaster. Tudor simply dropped a JPEG and broke the internet. It created a panic of desire. People didn't know if it was real or a joke. It was the Luna effect, a rare, strange event that forced everyone to look up. You might think this pink watch is just a fashion toy for celebrities, but if you open the case back, you find an engine that is technically superior to the Omega in one crucial way. The engine, MT5813 versus 3861. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono is powered by the Caliber MMT5813. This is not a normal Tudor movement. It is actually a modified Breitling B01, one of the best chronograph movements ever made. It features a vertical clutch and a column wheel. In plain English, this means when you press the start button, the hand doesn't jump or stutter. It glides instantly. The Omega Speedmaster uses the Caliber 3861. It is a legend, but it uses a horizontal clutch. It is older technology. The Tudor is a modern tank. The Omega is a vintage race car. The Tudor offers a 70-hour power reserve, meaning you can leave it for the weekend and it is still ticking on Monday. The Omega, it dies on Sunday morning. We respect the elders for their wisdom, but we rely on the youth for their endurance to carry the weight of the future. The color psychology. Men's watches are usually boring. They are black, blue, or silver. This is safe. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono Pink is dangerous. The shade of pink isn't soft or pastel. It is metallic and sharp. It forces a reaction. Omega plays it safe with the Speedmaster. They offer black or maybe white. They are protecting a legacy. Tudor is building one. By choosing pink, Tudor signaled that they are not afraid of ridicule. In a sea of serious moon watches meant for astronauts, the Tudor is a watch for rock stars. It takes a specific type of confidence to wear it. It says, I don't need to look tough. I already am. True courage is not standing in the shadows of tradition, but daring to wear the colors of the dawn while everyone else is still asleep. The Bracelet Revolution. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono Pink comes on a 5-link bracelet. It looks like jewelry. It drapes over the wrist like a piece of silk fabric. It is vastly more comfortable than the older, blocky rivets of the past. Omega recently updated their bracelet, and it is good. But Tudor did something better. They included the T Fit clasp. This system allows you to adjust the length of the bracelet instantly, without any tools. If your wrist swells in the summer heat, you slide it open. Omega has a similar system now, but Tudor's feels smoother, more mechanical, and more satisfying. It turns a steel handcuff into a custom fit. The celebrity factor. Omega relies on George Clooney and James Bond. These are legends, but they are from an older generation. Tudor tapped into the pulse of now. This watch was born from a collaboration with Jay Chou, the king of Asian pop. It is also tied to David Beckham and the Inter Miami soccer team, whose colors are pink. This isn't just a watch, it is a piece of pop culture. It connects with a 25-year-old in Tokyo and a 40-year-old in Miami. The Omega Speedmaster connects you to 1969. The Tudor connects you to 2025. It feels alive and current. Omega feels like a museum piece. Tudor feels like a backstage pass. To stay relevant, a legend must step off the pedestal and walk among the living, dancing to the rhythm of the new world. The water resistance gap. The Omega Speedmaster Professional is rated to 50 meters of water resistance. In watch speak, that is barely enough for swimming. Many owners are terrified to even wash their hands with it. The crown does not screw down. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono is rated to 200 meters. It has screw-down pushers. You can dive with it. You can surf with it. It is a go-anywhere, do-anything watch. This is the Bay in Black Bay. It offers peace of mind. Why pay $8,000 for a watch you have to take off when it rains? Tudor gives you a chronograph that acts like a submarine. Freedom is the ability to move through the world without fear, knowing that your armor is tight enough to hold back the tide. The price war. Let's talk about the wallet. The Omega Speedmaster Sapphire Sandwich version costs over $8,000 at retail, and the price keeps climbing every year. Omega is chasing Rolex pricing. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono Pink retails for around $5,500. That is a $2,500 difference. For that savings, you could buy a vacation or another nice watch. And yet, the Tudor offers the better movement, better water resistance, and equal build quality. On paper, the math is brutal. Omega is charging you for the history. Tudor is charging you for the watch. Value is not just about the price tag. It is about the respect the maker shows for the money you worked hard to earn. The Scarcity Game. Tudor officially stated that the Black Bay Chrono Pink would not be a limited edition, but limited production. This is a clever trick. It means they can make as few as they want. Collectors went crazy because they couldn't get one. They wanted it more. This is the Rolex strategy. Omega produces thousands of Moonwatches. They are everywhere. They are a commodity. The Tudor became a trophy. Owning one proves you have connections. It proves you are a VIP. By making the watch hard to get, Tudor elevated its status above Omega in the hype cycle. It became the unicorn of 2024. We always desire the fruit that hangs from the highest branch, not because it tastes sweeter, but because the climb proves we were strong enough to reach it. The design. The Panda effect. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono design is not an accident. It mimics the most famous watch in the world, the Rolex Daytona. It has the screw-down pushers. It has the tachymeter bezel, but Tudor adds its own snowflake hands. This makes it readable. The pink version adds a layer of irony. It takes a masculine, rugged tool watch design and paints it in a soft, playful color. This contrast is what makes it high fashion. Omega's design hasn't changed much since 1957. It is perfect, but it is static. Tudor is taking the classic shape and remixing it. It feels like a DJ remixing a Beethoven symphony. To honor the past, you must sometimes break its rules, creating a new harmony that sings to the present moment. The thickness problem. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono is thick. It measures about 14.4 millimeters tall, but the problem isn't the number, it is the shape. The sides of the case are flat, vertical walls of steel. This makes the watch look chunky. It sits high on the wrist. It struggles to slide under a tight dress shirt cuff. The Omega Speedmaster is also 13 or 14 millimeters, but its case is curved. It hides its weight better. It hugs the wrist. The Tudor feels like a burger. The Omega feels like a saucer. If you have small wrists, the Tudor might feel like a block of iron. This is the price you pay for that 200-meter water resistance. The date window debate. Look at the bottom of the dial. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono has a date window at the 6 o'clock position. For many people, this is essential. We need to know what day it is. The Omega Speedmaster Professional does not have a date. It stays true to the original space mission specs. NASA didn't need a date in space, but you are not in space. You are in an office. Not having a date can be annoying in daily life. Tudor chooses practicality over historical purity. They give you the information you actually need. It is a tool for Earth, not a relic for the moon. Function should never be sacrificed for the sake of nostalgia. A tool that cannot help us today is merely a souvenir of yesterday. The dial texture. The pink dial of the Tudor Black Bay Chrono is not just painted plastic. It has a subtle metallic grain. It catches the light. Sometimes it looks washed out and pale. Other times it looks neon and vibrant. The subdials, the little circles, have a snailed finish, tiny concentric circles that add depth. The red tip on the seconds hand adds a drop of aggression. Omega's dial is legible and clean, but it can feel a bit clinical. The Tudor feels like it has a personality. It changes with the weather. It feels like an organic object, not just a scientific instrument. Beauty is found in complexity. The things we never tire of looking at are the ones that reveal a new face every time the light shifts. The Rolex Connection. We cannot ignore the elephant in the room. Tudor is owned by Rolex. When you buy a Tudor, you are buying into the Rolex family. You get the same quality control. You get the same service centers. For a long time, Tudor was the poor man's Rolex. Now, it is the thinking man's Rolex. By beating Omega, Tudor is protecting Rolex. It acts as a shield. It fights the price wars, so Rolex doesn't have to. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono gives you 90% of a Rolex Daytona for 20% of the price. Omega doesn't have a big brother to help them. They are fighting this war alone. Greatness runs in the blood, but it is the younger generation that must fight to prove they are more than just a famous name. The market reaction. When the Omega Speedmaster white dial launched, people loved it, but then they saw the price tag, over $8,000. It felt like a luxury product. When the Tudor Black Bay Chrono Pink launched, it felt like a cultural moment. The energy was different. Omega felt like a predictable update. Tudor felt like a disruption. In the forums and comments sections, the conversation shifted. People stopped asking Speedy or Daytona and started asking Speedy or Pink. By forcing its way into that conversation, Tudor has already won. They stole the mind share of the year. Victory is not always about destroying the enemy. Sometimes it is simply about making the world turn its head to look at you instead. The durability. Aluminum versus ceramic. Here is a point for Omega. The new Speedmaster can be bought with a scratch-proof ceramic bezel on some models, or aluminum. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono uses an anodized aluminum bezel insert. This scratches. If you hit a door frame, you will see silver metal underneath. Why does Tudor do this? To keep the vintage look. It fades over time. It gains patina. Omega's ceramic stays perfect forever. Some buyers hate the scratches. Others love them. Tudor is betting that you want a watch that ages with you, showing the scars of your life. Omega wants you to look perfect forever. Perfection is cold and distant. There is a warmth in things that age, for they carry the physical memory of the days we have lived. The resale reality. If you buy a standard Omega Speedmaster today and try to sell it tomorrow, you will lose money. It is a depreciating asset, like a car. You might lose 20 or 30%. If you were lucky enough to buy the Tudor Black Bay Chrono Pink at retail, you could sell it tomorrow for a profit. We don't recommend buying watches as investments, but it feels good to know your money is safe. The Luna hype has protected the value. It makes the purchase feel guilt-free. You aren't spending money. You are parking it on your wrist. We claim we don't care about money, but there is a quiet comfort in knowing that the things we love are valued by the world as much as we value them.